Watchmen Episode 7 and Almost Religious Awe revealed a ton of new information, but without a doubt, the biggest revelation was the true location of Dr. Manhattan. And as it turns out, the show has been hinting at this reveal all along. Be warned, we're talking full spoilers here, so teleport to Mars now if you don't want to learn about... We've known since before the show debuted that the all-powerful Dr. Manhattan from the graphic novel would be showing up at some point this season. We seem to get glimpses of him in the trailers, but also showrunner and series creator Damon Lindelof confirmed that the character would appear, saying, quote, "I feel like if Dr. Manhattan doesn't show up at some point, then I would be canceling my HBO subscription. Now, we know for certain that he's coming back." And not just that, but he's apparently been hiding inside Yahya Abdul-Mateen II's character, Kal Abar, all along. This startling bit of business is revealed after Regina King's Angela Abar bashes her husband's head in with a hammer, only to pull out the symbol, the atomic symbol for hydrogen, by the way, that represents Dr. Manhattan. As a blue glow begins to envelop her, the episode ends. Sorry, Kal? Surely we'll find out more about how this all adds up in the remaining 2 episodes of the season, but it turns out the hints about Kal's true nature have been there all along. Reddit users K. Sindor and Mary Poopins appear to have been among the first viewers to post about the theory, so they win a blue Speedo or something for their Rorschach-level detective work. Let's just start with the fact that Kal's name, while spelled differently, is the same as Superman's Kryptonian identity. But sure, a lot of people are named Kal though, so let's keep going. All the way back in episode 2, Angela told Kal about her grandfather Will's claims that he was Manhattan, and that maybe he was just pretending to be human.
No, he can't. He's on Mars.
Angela also states the same thing to Will, who says Manhattan could be anyone on Earth.
He can't do that. Look like us.
But of course, who would be more inclined to deny Manhattan could assume human form than the human who is doing just that and his wife and accomplice? And perhaps the best way to keep that secret is for Kal to not even know the truth about himself anyway. But the seeds are being laid here for the reveal all the same. Next clue, Laurie Blake, who of course is Dr. Manhattan's ex, seems overly interested in Kal. She spends a lot of time talking about him and is obviously attracted to him. She even went to meet him when Angela wasn't around, and she compares Kal to Manhattan at one point.
Yeah, well, he's no Kal. Excuse me? Kal, your husband.
And it's not like Manhattan hasn't left an old girlfriend for a younger woman before. Only this time, Laurie is now the one who has been left behind. There's also the letter Lindelof wrote to fans in 2018 about his plans to remix Watchmen. In it, he included the following. A wise blue man once said that nothing ever ends. But maybe he wasn't wise. Maybe he was just scared and alone and sad that he would outlive everything and everyone he ever loved. Huh. Sure sounds like Lindelof sees the Good Doctor as someone who perhaps regrets the break he made from humanity at the end of the graphic novel. If so, wouldn't a return to Earth and human form of some kind make sense? Also, when he left Earth, Manhattan did say that he might create some life of his own. Most fans have assumed that this life was the Crookshanks and Phillips clones, or whatever they are, that Ozymandias is living among on Jupiter's moon Europa. But it now appears that Kal was a construct of some kind as well. Otherwise, Angela likely wouldn't have killed him with that hammer so easily. Moving on to Kal's accident, now that makes sense as well, as does the reference earlier in that episode that he had full amnesia after the incident. This is clearly the moment when Dr. Manhattan took over the life of Kal, or simply created Kal and began to live as him. How about the scene when Kal describes death to his kids in a rather cold and Manhattan-esque way?
Before Uncle Joe was born, he was nowhere. Didn't exist.
Manhattan didn't see much difference between life and death himself in the comic, stating a live body and a dead body contain the same number of particles. Structurally, there's no discernible difference. Maybe the answer to one of the biggest unanswered questions on the show so far lies in Kal's true nature as well. When Angela was attacked on the White Knight, it seemed like she was about to be killed by a member of the 7th Cavalry, with only Kal also in the house somewhere. The next thing we see is Angela waking up in the hospital. We don't know how she avoided the fate that just about every other cop on the Tulsa police force suffered, unless Kal used his Manhattan powers to save her. But beyond all that, Reddit user K. Sindor went so deep on this theory that he even compared the knuckles of the Manhattans seen in the trailer to those of Yahya Abdul-Mateen II. And what do you know? And then there's this, which is almost like Lindelof just outright announcing Kal as Dr. Manhattan. Laurie Blake's Doc Manhattan dildo is called Excalibur. Excalibur. Get it? Oh, and by the way, the next episode is called A God Walks Into a Bar. No space, a bar. We'll see how this all adds up in the final 2 episodes of Watchmen, but for more on Watchmen, check out our video on the 5 questions answered by Peteypedia. And for all things everything else, IGN.com.